You've landed in the confidence zone with Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach. This is a place for topics of information and inspiration, a place to support you to find your confidence, get bold, and get going. Activation is needed today at all levels. Don't wait for someone else to lead. Lead now where you are with what you have. Your energy and enthusiasm matters. Believe it or not, it impacts all of us. Find your confidence, get bold, and get going.
Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the confidence coach. Recently, my sister asked me, "Do you miss going live?" And I said, "No, I only go live when I feel I have something that I want to share in some way, shape, or form." And so it's about 1:30 my time. And I've been up since 4:30 for some reason. I don't usually wake up like that, but I have. So it feels like it's been a long day. And I realized, like, I was just sitting here thinking I should go for a walk. I should go to the sauna. I should pack up for something that I need. And then I decided that I would just come here and say hello to you and invite you to consider a few things for your life. So today I've had a few coaching sessions. I did a podcast interview and I had a meeting with someone who is running a summit where I am the headliner. And so I was just sitting here quietly reflecting on the day and how it's gone and how it's sort of emblematic of the life I created. I was on with someone who has a large institution under her and hundreds of people she has to be responsible for, and lots of people who need to know where she is every minute of every day. And I am the opposite. And I am just responsible for myself. And I just show up as I am, doing whatever I choose. And so I've been working with intention and commitment for the last month to end this year strong and to go into the new year 2026 strong, happy, healthy, well, and what? Optimistic and hopeful. When you're in charge of your own energy, then you can be in charge of how you feel, which also impacts how you look. So this year, as you know, if you follow me, I participated in a 20-week course as a teaching assistant and also got certified in medical Qigong. And so I learned over the course of this entire year, connected to my theme for the year, which was integral wellness, that really there's only one answer to everything. And the answer is being in charge of my own energy. Now, if you report to a lot of people, if you're responsible for a lot of people, if you have a lot of people around you who are in massive kinds of dysfunction, then it feels like it's literally impossible to be in charge of your own energy. But I've interacted today. I did my 30th interview in my podcast called How Qigong and Tai Chi Changed Your Life. And so I've interacted with a lot of people in this area talking this particular topic. Can I actually be in charge of my agency and myself, my energy? And I'm here to say you can. I just got off with another client where I said the breath is the magic. So I get it. I was a type A for most of my life, the first half of my life. And I know that I was suspect and cynical and mocked and ridiculed the idea that something simple could, solve something extremely complex. Well, I've learned over the last several years of my life that when we allow for the possibility that something like that could be the case, then what happens is we're shown it is the case. It really starts by opening up and imagining with curiosity, not blocking with preconceived notions and judgments. So this is the time that I begin to look back over the year and review what I've done, what's happened, what's gone on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it really does looking at my physical calendar, it's my digital calendar, and starting in January and remembering what January was like. That seems like forever ago. But going through the calendar, January, look and see what were the projects, who were the clients I was working with at that time, what was happening in the world at that time. God, we know what that was. And so on and so forth. And this is something that I speak with you about. But when people say Susan's the real deal as a coach, it's because I don't speak about anything that I don't do myself. My coaching tools, practices, techniques came from the strategies that I created to support myself to move more into self-control, controlling myself and not being triggered and co-opted, maniacally ranting and raving and railing in resistance at things around me. And so I do this exercise. I go to my calendar. I look at that. I look at the special occasions that happened. Special is a relative term. Sometimes just hanging out with one of my children or a friend, having a quiet time is special. And so I look at all the things that happened. I tune in. And the reason that I use an annual theme is it provides some guidelines for me. It provides a guideline. My theme that came to me last year was integral wellness. And so I created a beautiful graphic for myself, for my visual, and I have it up on my wall, and I integrated it. I speak about it. I coach on it. I teach classes on it. I integrate it into my business output. And it provides me guide rails. That's what it does. It provides me guide rails. And so then when I had an opportunity to be a TA in, a Shift Network course, I said, yes, of course, it's inside my theme. It's exactly where I want to be going this year, even though it was a big commitment. And so this is the time of year when my new theme begins to show itself to me. And if you follow me on Facebook, I already began to hint about what this was. And it came to me a few weeks ago. And I was very surprised because by the time I'm coming into the fourth quarter, I'm already looking at the next year. I'm already beginning my review. I'm already looking at year end. I'm looking at my books. I'm looking at my income. I'm looking at my deductions. What are the expenses I need to get in? What are the gifts I want to make by the end of this year, et cetera. So in about the last month, this idea came to me. And now it's so intuitive for me. When it shows itself to me, I literally perk up and I say, oh, is that my theme for next year? But the theme was so surprising, so unexpected that I had to let it sit and settle and question it. And through several things that have happened to me in the last weeks, opportunities that have come my way that were very surprising, as well as opportunities that I created with such ease that they happened so quickly, even though it was my idea, my thought. I didn't think people would say yes so easily, and they did. So now I have the most amazing thing that I'm doing in January. Stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing that with you. I created it for you. And several things showed itself to me. And so the theme that came to me for 2026 is optimism and hope. And my gosh, how could anyone feel optimistic about anything right now? Honestly, How could anyone feel hopeful right now? And the answer is this. In difficulty, if you are one of the ones who is present, grounded, centered, there is massive opportunity. We desperately need people who are in themselves, who are what I call connected to self energy. Now, if you are a primary caregiver, this is likely not going to be you for now. You are a primary caregiver, and that is what you're doing right now. That must be intended for you right now. We need to honor that, respect it, allow for it, and really, sort of be in that space. As one example, if you have reason to be in your own agency, then you are one of the people we need to rise. I'm sitting here speaking directly to you, asking you specifically, are you available to lead in 2026? Now, don't get the word lead wrong. Don't go into the patriarchy, capital L, lead in the old way that leaders led. No, those days are gone. I'm asking you directly, are you ready to lead in a way that is in your intuitive space, in a way that not only would be comfortable for you, it would be fun for you, and it would be easy for you? Okay, there may be complications along the way, and things may show themselves, and there may be frustrations where you hit a wall at some point. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the big picture of your purposeful space, of what's on your mind right now, what's important to you. If you're a global leader, if you're a national leader, if you're an organizational or company leader, okay, your purpose is defined. But if you're one of the people who's working on your own, you're unemployed for some reason, you're retired perhaps, you're a young person where you hit it big, you got lucky, and you're supported, and you have time and energy on your hands and money, then I'm asking you, in what way can you lead in 2026? I am actually putting this right out here directly. And I want to ask you, do you get me? Because we really need for you to get me right now. We really, really need for you yourself to ask yourself the question, am I ready, willing, able, and wanting to lead now? So I live in a little townhouse complex here in my little corner of the world, and I'm the vice president of the HOA, and the president and I are talking about the idea of putting a raised bed, small community garden in the back courtyard. I don't have to lead on that. I'm not a gardener. I don't even know how to do that. But I do know it would be amazing to have a raised bed vegetable garden where anybody can come and pick tomatoes and eat them, or whatever vegetables you plant in a raised garden, herbs or whatever, green beans or something. If you're a gardener and you live in a townhouse complex in your little corner of the woods, is this something that you can do? In these last few weeks, we've seen many examples of what I'm talking about. What does that look like? People putting out food on a table in front of their houses saying, help yourself. You know about the little libraries that dot our nation's, geography now. My friend is one of the people who was putting food in the little libraries in addition to books. If you thought about that opportunity right now, there's a lot of food scarcity. That might be something, an area where you could lead. It doesn't mean that you have to be the biggest boss or the biggest leader or spending, 20 hours a day leading an organization that's in deficit, that's difficult for you, that feels horrible, and all the things. I'm asking you to consider leading in a way that is intuitive for you, might be fun for you, would perk you up and would really help you feel good right now about sharing. My friend Kathleen McLean leads in a lot of ways, but one of the ways she's leading is by having fun with social media. For us middle-aged people still on Facebook, or older people, I should say. She's showing up and she's at the gym showing us that you can do that. She's showing up and she's dancing because I guess that's fun for her. It certainly looks like fun for her. So many other things. My other friend is an artist and she has the most amazing art, and she turned her art into cards. And then she did a big philanthropic project where if you give to your food organization, she'll sell you the cards for cost. And it's a win-win-win all around. There's so many ways that you can lead, but don't make the mistake of thinking that you have to lead in the old way and that leading might be hard or, create problems for you. We need everyone right now to really get out of the box and to really understand it's going to take us all to go forward in an optimistic and hopeful way. There is opportunity all around. In part, opportunity is being created through persecution and perpetrated malicious fear-mongering. I'm aware of that. I do know. I'm not naive or denying what's happening on the streets of our country today. All the more reason that I'm inviting you to just ask yourself, what can I do? If you're already doing it, thank you for your service. Thank you. That's great. That's fantastic. But there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is there are a lot of people asking, what can I do? Last night, I met with a 28-year-old young man here in my community who came to an Indivisible meeting. I met him there. I heard him speak. I went up to him after. I asked him a few questions, and I could hear and feel his aggravation, his frustration, really almost like this desperate frustration, like, what can we do? Like, nobody's listening to us. Nobody wants to hear us in the governmental organizations and offices. You can leave messages. You don't know if they're, received or whatever. And so basically I said to the head of our Indivisible organization, I'll be the liaison for young professionals. She was like, great, thank you. And so now I have a new job, so to speak, a new opportunity, the way I see it, that provides me with incredible optimism and hope, because I met with him last night and I just took my little notebook and I was taking notes and, asking him questions and really trying to listen and acknowledging, yeah, this is hard. It's frustrating. I get it. I'm frustrated too. And between us, we sort of really said out loud, young professionals, that between the, after college, working before the family, this age group, they desperately want to do something. They're not exactly sure what to do. Okay, they can call the 5 Congress people or whatever on the 5 app, and there's things like that. But it seems that they want to do something locally. They want to have a real impact locally. And so we sort of said to each other, we have to come up with a list of things that they can do, whereby when they say, what can I do? Boom, here you go. And that's what I really am coming here to talk to you about today. This is another way that you can lead, that you can be one of the people, because I said to him, people talking to each other about concern for the community, about current affairs, about issues of our day, issues of our times. This is a thing that we can do, where we actually come out from behind the devices. Don't get me wrong. I'm in front of a device. I get it. I realize that. But also tomorrow I'm going to be downtown and, with all the tree lighting and all the people will be, et cetera. I met with him last night in real life. We met at a tea shop and we engaged. And this is the area where we really can feel optimistic and hopeful. And so this is all coming to me. I have so much great stuff that's happened to me. I literally cannot believe it. Don't get me wrong. I did the work. I showed up. But when you're, open and healing, and you have mind body practices, you can find your breath, you can feel your breath, you understand the buckets that support your self-care, and you understand the importance of the things that a lot of us know today. And even if you have down moments where you're crying on the couch in grief, nobody says that's not going to happen. That is going to happen. But generally, if we really know that we have opportunity in front of us, we have opportunity to lead in ways that are fun and feel good to us, ways that may take creative imagination, ways that where you may have to strategize with your friend, but we need to stop saying, why isn't anyone giving me something to do? And we need to say, I'm doing this. And that is what leading looks like now. And you may get it wrong. That's going to suck. I said that to this young guy last night. You may get it wrong, but resiliency comes from getting it wrong, failing, moving forward, and coming through to the other side. That's what resiliency is. And God knows have I gotten it wrong time and again. And it's been bad. It's been bad. And, maybe I suffered in those moments, but I didn't allow myself to be stopped or stuck or stagnated, in those moments. I had to do the things, breathe and all the things, get out in nature, forgive myself for getting it wrong. And then kind of look up and be like, what do you need now? What can I do now? And that's what I really wanted to come here and share with you today. And I want to invite you to activate yourself, have conversations. I was shopping on Black Friday. I didn't happen to buy anything, but I was out and wherever we were at the outlets and the mall. And, I did buy one or two things. I got buy one jeans, get one free. That was awesome. But I was looking around and the materialism was like, it's like suffocating. It's just suffocating. I was somewhere, where was I? I was returning something. And I saw these parents in the store with the carts filled with all this stuff. And I knew it was like, oh, that's like Christmas stocking or Christmas gifts or whatever. Don't get me wrong. It's all good. Gift giving is fantastic. But right now, I invite you to consider how much one of the gifts is important, and that is the gift of you. The gift of you being well, the gift of you being healthy, the gift of you being clear, conscious, aware, being happy, and if you can't get to happy, maybe you can at least get to okay. Even if it's hard along the way. I'm not saying we're up and we stay up all the time. That's ridiculous. Who's saying that? Nobody's saying that. No, it's up and it's down and it's up and it's down. I get it. Me too. I get it. The real question is, can I get to the up from the down? Can I get to the up when I'm down? And this is just progress. This is just really where we find our agency, and we find, if we have to claw our way to resilience. When I think about what has been perpetrated on humanity in only just the last few years, and especially in our own country, by our own government, what these people are suffering, never mind the other things that have gone on in the world. And I see these people coming back and resiliently getting to work, stepping out, doing whatever it is, going to church or synagogue, whatever it is. That's resilience. And that I admire, and it inspires me. And so I want to really just leave you. I know this was long today. I really just wanted to say all of this to you and invite you to ask yourself, not what can I do, but what am I going to do I hope you got me when I said you don't have to become the CEO or the director or, the old, way that leading was supposed to go, which was really toxic, to tell you the truth. But leading in the new way, when it comes from your heart, when it comes from your soul, then you're like, let's go, let's do this. Sometimes it won't go well. Sometimes it won't work. You can stop and never try again, or you can be like, that didn't go well, and see if we can clutch and shift and morph a little bit in a way that might give us a little bit of progress. You can always write. You can share, you can speak, you can love. If you're my friend, you cook, nourish with love. And there's just countless ways, you could do origami and share it with children. I mean, I literally get some chalk, right? Make a, hopscotch thing in front of your house. All of these are things that any of us can do. And this is what I call leading today. So as we begin to look down the rest of the year is going to end. 2025 has been a year from hell. It's been horrific in so many ways, even though personally, I've been very lucky and blessed and grateful, and shocked at some of the things that I've received and done. And both of those are yes, and it's yes, that, and yes, that. But I want to invite you to look at, coming up into 2026. It's going to be a really big year for us, a big year, a really, really big year. January, February, March, coming into the summer, and then looking at the fall on the way to November. It's going to be a very big year. You have so much opportunity if you see it that way. And I want to invite you, grab the ring. And don't forget, your breath is the most precious gift. Okay, my friends, thank you for joining me today for this very long monologue. I always appreciate your coming here. Anything you want to say back, I can take it. Go ahead, drop it in the comments. All right, friends, wishing you the best. To those who celebrate, Shabbat Shalom. And to everyone else, have a beautiful weekend.